FakeTsuki project.
It's over, Franz.
Is it now?
Elise is right. Both Jude and Gesang are unconscious. It's only you now, but you know as well as we do that you can't fight without your hands. It's over, Franz.
I think you're forgetting about the thousands of proles and libertins in this building, and the tens of thousands more outside.
They can't help you. Do you know what Commander Woolf said before I went in? She said she was dying to storm into this conservatoire and slaughter all of you libertins. And the only thing holding her back was your threat. Well, she did use a more colorful language, but the point is, what do you think she would do if I were to go out right now and tell her that Aretha and I have secured the hostages? Do you think your thousands of proles and libertins could stop Woolf, let alone Woolf and her dragoon unit? You might have a chance of winning if the libertins had finished distributing mana potions to the proles, but they haven't, have they?
Let's stop this, Franz. Stop this riot and stop the bloodshed. If the police charge in, many people will needlessly die. Is that what your revolution is about? People being needlessly sacrificed for what?
For liberty, Aretha.
Liberty from what?
From the tyranny of the bourgeoisie, of course!
And you think that if the bourgeoisie and the aristocracy and the monarchy fell, all the problems in Overture would magically go away? Even if the monarchy fell, what then? Another form of oligarchy was certain to take its place. You can't create a democratic government overnight.
It doesn't have to be overnight.
Franz, I've been thinking a lot about what you were saying. Have I become a bourgeois? And after thinking long and hard, I've arrived at an answer. It doesn't matter. Call it what you want. Bourgeois, prole, it doesn't matter. It's just a label. Why do we insist on putting labels on everything? You said Libertad's mission is to abolish these classes. But do these classes even matter?
And even if you did abolish these classes, even in a free society, there would be the rich and the poor, and things would stay the same in every way that matters. A true classless society is a utopia, Franz. It's an impossible dream. In your utopia, the government would have to control everything. If no one were allowed to be rich or poor, you'd have to do away with wealth altogether. But it wouldn't make everyone equally rich. It would make us all equally poor.
This revolution isn't about money, you fools. It's about access to equality. And in this era, equality means access to magic. With magic, people will at least have a chance to live a good life.
Magic. Yes. I used to believe that magic was hope.
And you don't believe that anymore?
I don't know. But do you know what I've learned? What I've learned from seeing you, Franz? Or rather, Amadeus?
Me?
Amadeus, haven't you accomplished so much without magic? You revived Libertad and made them stronger than it ever was before. You won the hearts of the people. You rallied them to your cause. Aretha's mom told me about the broadcast network you created this morning. It seems you solved the problem that previously prevented a citywide broadcast network from ever being made.
Noise cancellation, yes, but in the end, I still wasn't the one who cast the spells necessary to build the network.
But you were the one who told them how, weren't you?
Yes.
Franz, think back to when we were doing experiments on the broken piano.
What about it?
Did you cast a single magic spell during the experiment?
No. You were the one who did.
But it was still your research, wasn't it? Aretha told me that you didn't have many friends when you were still in the conservatoire. But why don't you look outside now? You have tens of thousands of friends out there. All of this, You did all of these things without magic. And how did you do it, Franz?
I'd attribute it to my knowledge.
Knowledge. Yes, knowledge. Magic is great. Magic is useful. But is magic a basic necessity? Or is it just a commodity? Wouldn't you think that perhaps knowledge is more important? Perhaps what people need to advance as a society is not magic, but education. Franz, I know there is a lot wrong with our society. Maybe the monarchy is at fault. Maybe magical mechanical is evil. I don't know. But I don't think a violent revolution will help. If 1 million people who don't have access to magic today suddenly do have access tomorrow, would it solve our problems? Or would it create more problems instead? On the other hand, wouldn't educated masses have the potential to bring about a much greater and more positive change?
We don't know, Elise.
Exactly, Franz. We don't know. Which is why we look for answers. Just like scientists, we hypothesize, we experiment, and if our experiment fails, we try something else. But for an experiment to be scientifically meaningful, it has to be a controlled experiment.
Aretha, you're still as smart as I remember. And Elise, you really have changed, haven't you? 5 years ago, you were still a simple factory worker. Now you're debating political philosophy with a revolutionary. Well, I can't say I hate your new self.
Elise, we don't have much time. In a short while, Libertad and the Proles will be strong enough to fight the police.
I know. So Franz, what's it going to be? Will you give up? Or must I go outside and tell the police that the hostages are safe? If the police storm this place, many people will die, Franz. Please make the right choice.
Very well.
All of us have stopped speaking. Only the noise from outside can be heard in the conference hall. Franz's revolution is certain to end in failure, but he still looks calm. We look into each other's eyes. There is no hate in his gaze. Then, for the first time since I met him as Amadeus, I see Franz make a genuine smile, though the smile only lasts a second. He turns away, pulls back his hood to reveal his face, and goes out to the balcony.
I don't know if everything Elise and Aretha said is correct, but they are at least right about one thing. It's over. Gesang was my only weapon until we armed the masses with mana. Now, with the hostages freed, there is no way the revolution can succeed. Well, what can I do? I guess I have no choice but to put a little faith in them. I stand on the balcony and look down at the tens of thousands of proles outside the conservatoire. My brethren proletarians! How many times have I said this today? I always call them my brethren, but in my mind, I never see them as anything more than nameless people who I must save. Sheep that must be herded. But now that I look closer, even though I can't see their faces individually, I can tell that these aren't the faces of people who are looking up to a savior. Instead, they're looking at a brother. They're looking at a friend. Well, that's one more thing Elise is right about. I was wrong. These people never needed a savior. To say that they need a savior at all is to say that they are incapable of saving themselves. Which can't be true because the whole point of a revolution is to give the people an opportunity to save themselves. My brothers, hear me out. I have come to realize something very important. The people quiet down, eager to hear what I have to say.
I've decided not to taint our revolution with Joff Godwin's filthy and sinful blood.
What? We're here to see Joff Godwin die! Kill Godwin! Kill Godwin!
The change in mood is palpable. I can feel it from high on this balcony. I understand how they feel.
Listen to me. We can't kill Joff Godwin. Our fight today is over. I don't doubt your resolve to fight. I don't doubt your readiness to sacrifice even your own lives. But I don't want to sacrifice anyone. Our fight today is over. We have proven our point. The bourgeois now know that once the proletariat is united, we can never fall. However, our revolution is far from over. Today, I call on you to go back to your own peaceful lives. Go back to the factory and do your work. Work hard like you always do. But don't let another class dictate what you can and cannot do. Reclaim your freedom. The kind of freedom I'm talking about is not freedom from work, but freedom from want. Magic is not what we're fighting for. Freedom from magic, freedom from slavery to convenience, is the true revolution. Overture is not like Dwipantara, the archipelago in the east. People have been using magic for millennia. We've only had magic for 3 centuries. Our society remembers, we remember how to live without magic. If the bourgeoisie and the government are trying to make your life hard through restriction on mana potions, well, don't play by their rules. Live free with the resources available to you. We can make a thriving society on our own as long as we stand united. Mana be damned!
No magic?
Did he say we have to try living without magic?
How can we do anything without magic?
How can anyone live without magic?
How? My brothers, look!
I take off my prosthetic hands and show my crippled arms to everyone. This is the first time I have ever done this. Even in Libertad, only Gesang and Jude know about my handicap. Even from high up on this balcony, I can hear a veritable inward rush of air as the crowd realizes what they're witnessing. I feel so much shame in showing them my disability. They may feel cheated, knowing that their leader is incapable of using magic, that he is an invalid. This too is necessary. We must work to change that perception. The perception that the inability to use magic is shameful.
I can't use magic.
People stare in disbelief. They murmur and whisper to each other, keeping their voices down. But the susurrus of tens of thousands of people's whispers float up to me like a hissing wind.
I can't use magic.
It's a fact worth repeating.
If I, whom you call your leader, could do all this without magic, then think of what you're capable of in your own lives. You don't need magic. As long as you stand and walk forward together with your fellow men, you can do anything. No one, not the monarch, not the capitalists, not the police, can stop you. A happy life is yours for the taking. I have faith in all of you. Listen to me, my brothers. I want you to stop fighting the police. Our revolution will continue, but it will continue peacefully. What happens next is my decision. Do not react with violence, no matter what happens.
I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and open them again.
Hear me, police! This riot is over. The proletariat is not your enemy. Libertad has surrendered. There will be no more fighting. There will be no more bloodshed.
I pause. I feel my lips quivering.
Except for one man. I, Amadeus, will not surrender!
Using my 2 crippled forearms, I take out a vial of mana potion from my pocket. I bring it to my mouth, and using my teeth, take the cap off the vial. I drink my first mana potion in 5 years.
My brothers! I apologize for disappointing you all. Joff Godwin is an evil man, but we shall not repay evil with evil. Let this be the symbol of your revolution.
I let my mana flow through my whole body and gather my magic power. This will be my final spell. With this spell, I'm placing my faith in everyone I believe in the proles, in the revolution, in change. I am putting my faith in Elise too, and Aretha and Jude and Gesang. I can feel my magical aura getting thicker. The mana in my body is restless. It pulses through my veins faster and faster.
I can't believe this. What's with this magical aura?
I don't know. I've battled many magicians, but I've never felt any magic this strong. This is crazy. Look, everyone around the conservatoire can feel it. Even people on the street.
It's going to be a very powerful magic spell.
Commander Woolf, this is dangerous. We have to attack Amadeus before he unleashes that spell.
No! Wait!
Summon!
Here it comes! Everyone, take cover! Don't give him the chance to fire! Attack!
No! Stop!
Ah!
I'm hit from every angle by powerful offensive magic. Those policemen are really going all out, aren't they? Their magic assaults me without mercy. I regret that it has to end this way, but this is the only way. I wouldn't have been able to get the proles to go home peacefully until they saw someone, anyone, take a fall, until they could clearly see what the police would do to them. Hey, at least this is glorious. I collapse as soon as the volley of magic attacks cease. I can't move anything. Not even a finger. Before I black out, I catch a glimpse of Elise, Aretha, Jude, and Gesang running. There's panic on their faces. I leave the rest in your hands, my friends. Elise, you might have changed, but after all that's been said, you're still the same naive girl I met 5 years ago, aren't you? What was that about living without magic? You can't live without magic, silly. Life changes so much in the span of just a decade, let alone 3 centuries. A peaceful revolution? What revolution is peaceful? That's a fairy tale. Oh, man, I had to be the one who delivered that stupid speech. History will remember me as someone who died a martyr after giving a patently absurd speech. It's almost as absurd as trying to fix a broken piano using compassion. But you know what, Elise? As absurd as it is, this time I believe you. Because, why not?
Little scrubs! What did I say? I said stop! Why'd everyone attack him?
But he was going to cast, well, something.
He didn't have hands! He couldn't have cast anything!
But we definitely felt something. I don't know what it was, but there was definitely something like magic.
I also felt it. It was weird. I now know that he didn't cast any magic, but at that time, I was so sure that he had cast something.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean. I felt the same thing. It was very strange.
Oh, gods! What just happened?
Amadeus is dead! Amadeus has been killed by the police!
What are we going to do now?
Kill the police! Avenge our leader!
Yeah! How can we go home peacefully after they killed our big brother?
Stop it! Everyone stop fighting! Didn't you listen to Amadeus? No one fights anymore. That is not the revolution that Amadeus wanted. Don't get yourself killed for nothing. We have a responsibility to carry on the revolution without violence.
Get inside the conservatoire, control the situation, restore order, and make sure Lord Godwin and Professor Poe are safe.
Yes, ma'am.
If you do one fucking thing right today.
What are you going to do to the proles?
With tens and thousands of people? Nothing. What did you have in mind? It's not like we can put all these people in jail. Not enough cells for them. Besides, most of these people are factory workers. MM would go nuts if their workers couldn't go to work. The economy would shut down.
Franz! I shake Franz's body, hoping he'll wake up. Silence. Franz! I call out his name, hoping he'll answer. More silence. Like a piano that doesn't sing, Franz has become mute. Franz! No! With a trembling hand, I touch his chest. There is no heartbeat. No movement to suggest breathing. No! My tears well up and fall on his cheek. Franz! I can hear Aretha and Jude sobbing. You were a terrible person, Franz. You made not one, not two, but 3 girls cry. It's not fair. This is not fair. I still haven't punished you. You still haven't apologized for being Amadeus. You still haven't apologized for making Frederic die. You still haven't apologized for inciting a riot. Did you think you could make everything alright by dying? The sound of my weeping and sobbing is getting louder. Tears won't stop streaming down my cheeks. I can't do anything except look at Franz's lifeless body through my wet eyes. Neither Jude nor Aretha says anything. Only the sounds of their weeping can be heard. Franz. No. Not like this. Sorry, Franz. I can't let you off the hook this easily. I raise a hand over Franz's dimmed, hollow eyes, as if to shield them from the unsightliness of life. Or perhaps it looks as if I were giving a blessing to the dead soul. Compassion. Transform. Amplify.